Good evening and welcome to Curling Stadium. We're coming to you live from Sheet C at Four Seasons Curling Club in Blaine, Minnesota, here at the Curve US Open of Curling. 9 teams are competing this weekend in a triple knockout format for the championship round. Tonight we're watching the 8th draw where Team Tuma is facing Team Violet. Joining me this evening again is John Benton. Thanks for being here with me, John.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Excited to be back. Really excited to get our second game here underway on Curling Stadium. Two young teams tonight that many people will be familiar with, both playing at the national level. Violet winning a national championship recently, and Team Tuma always in the hunt at nationals, although they have a slightly different lineup than they've had in the past.
In terms of this weekend specifically, it looks like Team Tuma's got 2 games under their belt. They lost 8-2 to Schuster yesterday, and then Casper took a win against them 10-2 this morning. Violet has 2 wins this weekend. Their first against Brundage on Friday, and they took a 9-2 win against Team Casper just right before this match. They lost a really close game last evening to Rich Runen, 6-7.
So first end underway. Looks like gonna have quite a few rocks in play already. We had some discussion yesterday about how much we like that.
I was just about to say the same thing. That's what we like here.
It's awesome. It's awesome. So Luke Violet, skip here. He's playing the open hit. That just overcurls just a hair. Would have liked to stick around on that. Like I said, it's a different lineup for Team Tuma, changing a couple of players out this year. Most people familiar with Kevin skipping and throwing last, so that's a change to their lineup for sure. Nice hit. And Ben Richardson.
Second for Team Violet. I'll be relying on you for the players here a little bit. I don't know these teams as well.
Yeah, I did have a chance I've worked with Luke and Ben for sure, a little bit with Chase Sinnott on Team Violet. Luke has been playing for such a long time. It's kind of hard to believe that, you know, he's as young as he is. I went to a Junior World Championships as coach of the women's team. That's what, 6 years ago now. And I'm not sure what age Luke was at the time, but he's quite good and been getting a lot of really good experience at a very young age.
That's fantastic. And as you mentioned, both of these teams very young. It's fun to see.
So a good draw here, trying to freeze down to it. Sweeper's really working this. Looks like it's probably going to be a hair short. But Luke's going to have a chance to get back underneath there. Chase Sinnott is another young player I had a chance to work with a little bit, and Chase from a very early age decided that this is what he wanted to do, and he's put a ton of time in, like the rest of these players. It's really unique, Bob, to think when you're here at the club, to see kind of the format of things, the way teams are working both on and off the ice. Every team that's here comes off the ice and they have a post-game meeting. They have a pre-game meeting. They're all warming up. They all have foam rollers in their bag. A lot of them have percussion massagers now. It just looks a lot more like a professional sport environment than it did even 5-10 years ago.
Just a testament to the dedication of these kids.
Ooh, that was a bad break there. Leaves Luke Violet sitting 3 underneath center guard.
He's going to want to guard that up even more.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty nice cluster there.
Mm-hmm.
Big advantage. So Chase will try and get a rock, a couple of feet across the hog line here, and if he does that, it's probably another peel coming. Team Tuma in a bit of trouble to start this end. It's a good guard there. Other games going on, of course. Schuster versus Dunham on sheet A. Our game here, Tuma Violet, and Lynn and Brundage right next door. Tries to make the double peel and only gets the one. So I think you're probably going to see another guard go back.
I think you're right.
Pretty emphatic gesture there by Luke. Luke has been known to be a pretty fiery guy out on the ice. Just a lot of passion and a lot of emotion that he brings to the game for sure.
And Luke is out of Washington State, is that correct?
Yeah, Washington State. Although almost all of these players have spent a significant amount of time, especially the last year here in Minnesota, either practicing in Chaska at the National Training Center or here. A lot of them trying to get as much ice time as they can. So I know Luke moved out here for a while this summer. This looks a little longer than they want. So I'm guessing, Bob, they're going to look at an angle run back with one of these guards out front. Try and get a couple of those yellows if they can.
Sure, I can see that shot. And it looks like they're thinking about that one on the left pretty strongly. I know I would personally feel safer with that one.
Yeah, they've got a couple of options that the one on the right actually isn't a bad option either. I think there's a better chance of getting shot rock with the one on the right and a better chance of making a run back double going this way. So it's not 50-50, but it's pretty close. On it right out of his hand.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
He's close. Just gets the one.
Every point counts.
For sure.
And now is Violet considering protecting against that happening a second time?
Yeah, you don't want to go too crazy. He obviously wants to throw this this guard to kind of plug that hole there. If he can get it, a little closer to the house, he might take the left-hand run back away. But with the way the ice is curling, I kind of doubt that. This one's out there a ways. It's got a bunch of curling to do itself. It's trying to finish up. So a good guard. So no run back. Looks like they're just going to try to make the straight draw through the port on the right-hand side here.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah, with the way it's curling, if you just get past the guard that's 1.5 feet to the right of the center line, that draw could make it to the button for sure. Rock on the way. They're off it.
He's right in front of it.
Of course.
See where it's at.
Of course. There it comes. Look at this.
Oh, look at that.
What a beautiful
Wow.
draw. Great draw.
Gorgeous draw.
Amazing. So Team Tuma takes one in the first to go up 1-0, and we'll be back with you in 1 minute.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your stream curling games, and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward, where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game. We want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
And we're back. Sheet C, Tuma versus Violet. Four Seasons Curling Club, Curve US Open of Curling.
Bob, that was a pretty amazing draw.
It really was. I love seeing those shots like that.
They had to wait a long time for that rock to curl. I think they were worried it wasn't going to get past the outside guard.
I only wish I could have seen how close it ended up being to that guard.
Yeah, it's I was kind of known for that too, following my rock down the ice. So it makes it tough on commentators and cameramen. That's for sure. So we'll see if Team Violet has an answer here. Having the hammer here in the second end.
A little heavy.
It's going to slip all the way through. You know, you kind of forget when a team makes a great shot like that, a great draw. He had the hammer, and technically that's a 4-1. So, you know, you take the victory for sure that you made the shot, but you've given the hammer back to Luke Violet, and you hope that, you know, that's what Luke is looking at. He's not disappointed that he didn't get the steal. He got a force anyway, and he's going to try and come back here with a couple.
This is John Harstead, lead for Team Violet. He's the only native Minnesotan on the team.
Nice freeze there by John. Going to try and stack up a couple of freezes here.
Line looks good.
Just a little short. We'll see what Luke decides to do with this. Luke's going to get that rock. Yep, he's going to get that rock off the center line. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, just, you know, what happens in the 5-rock free guard zone when there's less than 2 guards out front, and you're seeing it right here. Luke's going to look to simplify this end if he can and get kind of a natural deuce. So they open up. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, speaking of the free guard zone, you want to mention any more about that for anybody who's watching that doesn't know what that is?
Yeah, sure. You know, hopefully we've got a bunch of new people watching curling for the first time. So the free guard zone has been around for quite some time, but pretty simply explained, in the first 5 rocks of any end, if those rocks end up between the hog line and the house without touching the rings, they can't be removed from play until the 6th rock is played in any end. They can be moved, but they cannot be removed from play. So it just creates a little more offense in the game, and it changes the strategy quite a bit for teams. So nice run back there. But it is going to leave a double here for Ben Richardson. He's going to try and hit this on the nose. Little inside of nose. And there they go, both go.
Still gets it.
No scoring updates yet. Team Tuma want to make this come around. Try and get as much separation as they can between this rock and the guard. It's dead buried. Sydney Harris. Little foot wedge on the guard. You know, that's just something that you don't see in any other sport. It's just, you know, the sportsmanship that we all love about this game. You say, I moved it. And they say, move it back. Another run back. Didn't quite get that out of the house completely. Team Tuma coming around the other way.
This will be interesting to see how this side of the sheet plays.
Yeah, they only played the last draw of last end, which was made.
Right.
I think they're working this one for line, trying to get it by.
It's going to be tight.
Just a rub. If they can get it to the rings, it's just going to come up a hair short. I was going to say if they got it in the rings, it could set up a force later in the end just by keeping those two rocks split. Luke says, I've had enough. I'm going in. Pretty good situation here to go under. You're not in a ton of trouble. Maybe put a little pressure on Team Tuma. Just want to make sure that this one is above the tee.
And it's going to over curl.
Just a little light there. And that's one danger with making that call. You have to be precise in that situation to make sure you're not behind the tee line, but you also don't want to throw another guard out there for the other team.
And they're going to get a second try on this draw.
Down to Skip's rocks here. This is Aiden Oldenburg, and I haven't spent a ton of time with him. I've seen him at a few camps.
got a lot of action out front of the house.
Yeah, a couple of rocks now coming up short on that side. Luke's going to give it a try, get around, try and set up his deuce. Maybe a change of heart here, Bob.
Looks that way. Looks like a tap back.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I don't mind this call at all. You have plenty of guards out front, so you don't have to be super accurate with the line. As long as you make contact with, half or a little more than half, you should be able to push it somewhere into the 4-foot.
No danger of accidentally bumping a tumor rock in. Yeah.
Just sweeping it to hold it out there a little bit. Maybe a little more weight than they want. It's a nice rock. It's still fully covered.
Still out in
Tuma
front of the
taking a look.
tee line.
Yep. Team Tuma taking a look. See what they can see. And they've elected to draw here. There is enough room there for them to get buried and be shot. And my guess is if this shot is made, that Luke would play the angle run back. I don't see any other options if they make a good draw here. There's your other scores. Schuster up 2-0. 1-0 here and 1-0 next door between Lynn and Brundage. Nice positive ad at the release there, Bob. Super saying 4-5. Meaning top of the house or top 8 foot.
Did they get a clip on that guard, or were they right around it?
I think they were right around it.
Okay. Boy, it was close. Look at that. That was a beautiful shot.
Two really good draws.
And you were right, thinking about that angle run back.
Yeah, I don't think he has really any other option. There is a little danger here. It's not a lot. It would be really hard for him to run this onto his own and lose his own rock and give up a steal at 2. But it's still a tough shot. Probably looking to catch this at 4:30 or 5 o'clock on the face of the clock here. Hit this guard at that location.
Almost looks
He's
like
close.
it might be. Look at
Great
that.
shot. Great shot. And that's 2 for Team Violet. Go up 2-0 here after the second.
It was a beautiful second end.
Yeah, a little bit back and forth there. Skip's making a couple of good shots. So it seems like these teams they're just kind of feeling the ice out a little bit. Had a couple of light draws on the left-hand side going home. We'll see if they stay away from that side of the ice or whether they try and work it in a little bit further.
Top 12 for John Harstad's first rock. I wonder if that's a little deeper than he was hoping.
Yeah, I think the call there was probably tighter in.
Okay.
Being up a little bit, up by a point here, I think Luke wouldn't mind getting a force or even a blank wouldn't be bad, and then go hard for a steal in the even ends.
Sure. They're on it right away.
John asking for a little more ice there.
They swept this guy the whole way.
It's a great spot. Dead in line.
Is he calling for appeal on this right now?
Actually, no. This is the tick shot, Bob.
Oh, the tick shot.
Yep. So if we remember what we talked about in terms of the free guard zone, the tick shot here is that situation where you move a rock just like that, get it off the center line and open up the playing area without removing it from play. It's perfectly legal, and that's a really good shot for two reasons. He moved the rock off the center line, and he got his shooter to roll into the rings, creating a scoring threat. So Luke has no choice but to go out here and hit this rock, with Tuma having hammered this end. Great shot. Worked that one all the way down. I think they would have liked to stick around on that hit. With the ice curling this much, Bob, you end up with so many rocks around the 4 foot. We don't see a ton of play out in the 12 foot, but I do know that occasionally here at Four Seasons, when you get out there a little bit, it'll be a bit straighter.
As we just saw it.
Yeah, you might get fooled.
We talked in the broadcast last night a little bit about Sheet A and some of its odd behaviors, and that used to be one of them. It would play extremely straight out there, if not fall out.
Right.
Tried to make those shots.
So exchanging a couple of open hits here. Hitting on the nose there. He's still outside of the ring, so it's effectively a guard, and Aiden's not going to leave that sit there. He's got a couple of corner guards that he'd love to work with. At this point in the end, you could ignore that rock and just go around the corner. And now they've decided to peel that rock. Little indecision there. They end up with a nose hit. Really didn't change much, but the color of the rocks. So center guard remains.
A little bit of back and forth here. He's trying to draw in underneath at this point. Is that right?
Yep, he's trying to get around to the forefoot.
Oh, it's curling a lot.
Curling hard.
Ooh, I don't think it's around.
Now, I didn't see where Luke put the broom, but that would have been essentially the same path that Team Tuma had to take in the first end to get to the button.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering if Luke took note of that ice earlier in the game.
Well, I think he was right about the 8-12 line.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tuma was out in the middle of the 12-foot for that draw that they ended up making in the first.
I think you're right. Going for the hit.
Actually, he's playing the split here. Wants to chip his
see.
own red one on and roll his shooter on. And they just didn't catch enough of that top rock. Is shooter going to stay? It does.
It did. Is he saying he wants to open this up a little bit?
No, he's coming around. He's coming around probably to T-line underneath that yellow rock, just 1.5 feet off the center line there. Really
Very
nice.
nice. Very nice.
Going to come after it. It's kind of the universal sign for hack weight is touching the heel. I don't know how it came to be that, but
That's got to curl quite a bit. And not enough.
So this is kind of exactly what Luke would want. He wants to put enough pressure on here if he can get a steal in the odd end, go up by 2. So your basic center line guard, just a couple of feet out. So So you see the 2 shots they're considering there, Bob. There's the straight run back double,
I see that one.
and the draw.
Show me the opening that they're thinking for the draw. Is it between the center line yellow guard and the red on the left?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, just enough
That's
room to get through there.
Yep.
You know, the problem right now is that you're likely forced to 1 at least anyway at this point. You know, unless you make this double. But even if you do make this double, Violet's just going to go back and hit that red rock in the back of the house, and you may get a blank out of it. I guess I'm okay with this. I was thinking that red rock on the left side of center was actually touching, which means that the force was on. But
there's a little bit of space there.
Yep.
A few inches.
Uh-oh, this looks like trouble.
It's over curling a little bit.
Gets past the guard, just gets enough.
Ooh. That made me a little nervous there.
Yeah, I thought there was a chance he was gonna clip the guard on the way by. But as it was, he made the double. So the question for Luke now is, does he try and hit this rock in the back of the rings? It's going to be hard to hit it and stay, which means that red rock on the left side of center line might come into play for a split. I think if it's me here, I'm playing the draw.
I'm with you. I do like those draws.
Because here's the thing. Again, you have a little more margin for error. You can come through that hole, end up in the 4-foot or a little bit deep. And even if you're a little deep, and he draws down to you, it's still a force.
Right. making the other team make those shots. Yeah, I like this call. He's trying to push it.
Yeah, trying to push it, trying to get this to curl. No rub. But just like I said, even if he comes deep, he's going to be fully buried.
Yeah, that's a really nice shot.
I'm really not sure there's a shot for two here.
That would be a tough run back to make.
I think if you hit what you see, you could make it. But it's like 9/10, right?
Yeah, yep, it's risky. Especially with some of the curl we've seen on this sheet so far today. I don't think I would want to do that.
Last rock coming here for Team Tuma, the third end at the US Open Championships. There's a bunch of tiebreaker scenarios for seeding and playoffs, pending some outcomes here. There are too many for me to list. Just know that it could get messy. A little lighter weight. Trying to hold it out.
I don't think. Ooh, we got yellow.
Yep. Get the replay on this. Just curls up a little too much. And that'll be a steal of one for Violet. He'll go up 3-1 after 3 ends, and we'll be back in 1 minute.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
And we're back live from Sheet C at Four Seasons Curling Club. We are watching Team Tuma versus Team Violet here at the Curve US Open of Curling. Going into the fourth end of the game here.
Yeah, that was a big break for Team Violet, getting that steal. So we'll see if Tuma can battle back. quick check on other scores. Schuster over Dunham 4-2. Get that score update here to make it 3-1 and 2-1 in favor of Brundage. See the corner guard go up with that first rock deep in the rings. Now we'll see that center guard.
We could take a minute to just look at the overall standings from the rest of the teams this weekend. We've got Team Schuster, 3 wins, no losses. Team Dunham, they've played 2 games, 2 wins. Brundage is 2 wins, 1 loss. Ruinen played 4 games so far, 3-1. Violet, who we're watching, played 3 games, 2-1. Casper, 4 games so far this weekend, 1-1, lost 3. Smith, 4 games, 1-1, lost 3. Taiwania is what I'm told the team Lynn likes to go by. They've played 3 games and lost 3 so far. They're playing right now as well. Not on our sheet, but currently. And Team Tuma, who we're also watching, has played 2 games and lost 2 games so far. And those are the standings so far in the U.S. Open of curling this weekend.
Thanks for that, Bob.
Of course.
I think it's the top 4 records out of all the teams will advance to the semis and finals after all the round robin games are done.
Okay.
So Team Violet up 2, trying to be a little more conservative now. Called for 2 rocks in the rings. Tuma ignoring all of those and threw up a corner guard and came right around that corner guard. This next call is going to be really interesting because this rock will probably tell us a lot about what's going to happen the rest of the end.
He's considering a couple things already. Freezing on that rock that's touching the button.
And that is the call. Play the freeze. The other option would be, one other option would be to tap the top yellow behind the tee line and roll away, try and get some separation between the 2 reds. But down to, I think they're feeling like they really need to generate offense here and get some rocks in play.
This is coming in with a lot of weight.
Yeah, it looks like they overswept it just a little, trying to hold it out there. It's not a bad outcome, actually. Move the yellow behind the tee line, and for those watching out there who maybe don't play at this level, that's something that I'd love to see more people do in their league games. Is start tapping rocks when you have the hammer. Tap your opponent's rocks behind the tee line, but leave them in the house. They only serve to help you when they get back there.
That's a new assignment now for all the Four Seasons Curling Club League members who are watching.
It's really for anybody who's watching.
Well, especially for them, because now they know you're paying
Now they
attention.
know. I'll be watching. And now with Curling Stadium, I don't even have to come to the club to watch. I can watch league games every night.
It's funny because as we said that, I was imagining you standing back in the restaurant with a notepad, but of course not. You're just in your living room.
Laying on my
Oh.
couch. Bob, why did you do that? Bob, why did you do that?
Just so that everybody watching knows, I've gotten those text messages from you when I've been curling here.
Why do you have your phone on the ice, Bob? That was the text message I sent. Kevin Tuma makes a nice double there, almost made the triple. Opens up the center line, which is what they'd like. Really just trying to score 2 here, but you know, that the critical thing is that they get at least 2 to get back in the game. A little discussion here. There's a possible double there, but it does come with some risk. Let's see if we can hear. They're considering throwing a guard.
Do you understand that call?
Yeah, you know, the one thing about it being up a couple, switching your game plan at this point in the end, I wouldn't be a big fan of that. So they've gone back to the hit here. You know, it would be hard to throw a good guard, a good enough guard to prevent them from having access to that rock, which would scare me a little bit.
That's what I was thinking too.
That's a great shot, though. Accomplishes kind of both things. Gets rid of a potential threat and guards shot rock. So Team Tuma really making the decision to be aggressive here. They could play that double and sit second and third, which wouldn't be a bad shot. But they're going to come around and try and corner freeze the second shot in the back 8 foot. Sweepers are saying back line.
Needs to curl too, and here it comes.
I don't want to touch this.
No.
Like just a little deep. Now they're going to throw the guard. That's just based on the fact that they're laying 2 already. So they feel like the force is on here. This rock's settling in a really good spot. May have over curled just a little bit. So I think they're trying to make the triple here, Bob.
This will be fun to see. Here we go. Got two of them.
Just needed to catch that top rock a little thinner. So Team Violet still laying first and second in the rings there. I think they'll be happy to just throw a guard here. Right now, I don't see much of a way. Would be a really thin double if he has access to the inside half of Shot Rock for Team Tuma. But we'll see what Luke comes up with here. I think he's going to try and cover that side of it for sure. Center line side.
They're on
Sweet.
this the whole way.
Just cleaning now.
Finishing nicely.
Covers the center line side just like he wanted to. Takes away that double.
This is tough for Tuma.
So it looks like maybe they're considering whether to play a soft hit and try and get to that rock, or the run back double, and looks like the final decision is to play that soft hit.
Those are the shots we were talking about last night that take a lot of skill but really bring us to the next level of curling.
Aiden's made a couple of beauties already, a couple of draws. I have a hunch right now that this is one of the tougher shots to make. Just because the ice is curling so much, you really have to anticipate the break point when the rock really first starts to curl. You see they took a little more ice than they originally set.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like maybe he set that out as he let it go. He was he was worried. He was worried about the ice there, asked for a little more ice, and gave himself a little more at release.
Yeah, that ended up being a very straight delivery.
So Luke going to try and take advantage of that miss. and come right underneath, try and get in for third count. Put a lot of pressure on Aiden to make a draw with his last truck. Beautiful draw there. Violet lane 1, 2, 3. And there's not a ton of access.
So really, they've made it a really difficult end for Tuma here.
So I'm a little unsure what the final call is here. It looked like they were maybe talking about just the straight tap back on the red that's on the left-hand side of center. But where the way he's got that broom set down, I think he might be playing the run back triple.
That's what I was thinking too, because I don't see a line from there to make a tap back on that red, but we'll see.
Nope, this is the tap back. Really
Yeah.
need to get that to curl.
It's not going to be quite the right angle.
That's a big, big steal of 3 for Team Violet. They will go up 6-1 here after 4 ends. Just a couple of misses that end by Team Tuma that really led to that, and Team Violet, capitalized. So now Tuma's going to be all in for sure. Really going to have to play aggressive, and you're going to see the hitting boots come out for Team Violet.
I believe you're right. They're still taking their time having a team discussion. It's a good time for it.
G-Day Schuster up 5-2. Again, our score's a little bit behind here, 6-1 for Violet. And 4-1 Team Brundage over Team Lynn, Team Taiwania.
And again, we see Team Violet coming into the rings right away at the beginning.
Yep. And I would be surprised up 5 here if Tuma gets a good guard. They might just throw it through this second one. They really don't need another rock in play. But they are going to come under it. It's kind of a 50-50 call. Being up 5, I don't think this rock helps you at all.
You're thinking that you would rather just give the other team less to play off of?
Exactly. Let's say they make a really good shot here and get around it. you know that Tuma's likely to freeze to that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that rock actually picked something up. It overcurled and came up short. Saw John Harstead there cleaning the ice a little bit. So kind of standard play here. When you're down big, you're going to throw a couple of corner guards and try and set up an end for 2 or more. You won't see very many hits from Team Tuma.
Same call.
He's actually playing a tap back here again. You know, I'm not sure that more rocks in play right now are going to help you, and that's really just based on the score. You know, most teams will use some sort of a system where they, you know, they basically know ahead of time. You know, if we're up by this much at this point in the game, here's how we're going to play.
Do you know Team Violet well enough to know if that's something that they do?
Yeah, I'm absolutely certain of it. This is a little bit of a unique scenario, just in the way the first couple of rocks ended up
Okay.
in the front of the rings. Um, it's hard to ignore that. It's also hard to throw a rock through. You know, these rocks are in front of the tee line, so it's not really hurting them yet. But I know very well, no matter where this rock ends, Luke's going to come up and start peeling. He's definitely hitting something no matter where this rock ends up. And I'm guessing he's going to go after the corner guards.
And just as you mention it, he points it out.
So as we look at this rock come down the ice, those 2 yellows on the left-hand side of center line, I'm guessing those are going to come into play here in about 2 shots.
And how do you think they're going to be used?
I think Tuma's going to end up drawing around those 2 rocks. So if you play this out, Team Tuma comes underneath the corner guard as they've called right here. Luke will go up and peel that corner guard.
Mm-hmm.
And Tuma will have the choice to either replace the corner guard or come under those 2 yellows. Or
And
play.
the position that he's in, he'd rather have more in the house.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
The other option that he might have is to play a run back, short run back.
That ended up being a little shorter than they wanted.
Yep, a little light. So Luke's going to get rid of the 1 rock that's a threat. And now you might see Tuma try and come under either pairs, either the yellow pair or the red pair. One more try at these corner guards.
He's thinking, don't be light this time.
This rock's got a curl. Definitely more weight on it. Just a bit of a struggle for Team Tuma trying to get the line and the weight right on some of these draws. So a little gear shift now. Yeah, a little gear shift now for Team Violet. They are up a bunch, and there's plenty of rocks in play, but they really, at this point don't have much of an alternative. They might as well go ahead and play the tap on their own here, get a rock in the forefoot. Chase Sinnott. Rock on the way. This looks like maybe just a little bit straighter spot here.
Yeah, we've seen a couple rocks come down that lane now, play pretty straight. But that's not all that bad either. Just blocks more avenues into the house.
It does. Now the interesting thing is that if Team Tuma can come off this yellow and roll underneath that pile of rocks on the left-hand side, there's may not be a way to get to it.
It's looking good.
Yep, needs to curl. They really want to roll this a long ways if they can. It's a great shot.
There is an angle on it there. Right where they're looking, yep.
Yep. Looks like he may have been a little tight right out of the hand. Got to hold it straight by. Notice that those two yellows in the top of the house ended up being an issue.
I do see that.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Almost feel like you might have mentioned that or something.
I don't know. It's just, so many years of, making these mistakes myself. It's a really, really hard thing when you get up by a bunch to know what to do. A lot of times you feel like throwing a rock through is kind of a waste, but
Well, I know I didn't understand it when I first learned that concept myself. It took me a while. And then I almost thought it was kind of unsportsmanlike until I realized, no, this is just how the game works.
yep.
It makes sense.
So that the interesting thing with that last shot, Team Tuma again struggling a little bit with their draws now after making some beauties early in the game. They lined up a shot here for Luke. I don't think those rocks are exactly frozen, but they're close enough where all he has to do is hit that red rock on the nose, and he's gonna make the run back. The question is, can he roll his shooter a little bit to the right and end up with a guard that's going to cut off the forefoot? Really want this to curl a bit. See a little drag effect.
Look at that. That was perfect.
Makes the run back. Get another look at it. So ideally, you would like to have this rock curl up a little bit and have his shooter stay and cover part of the forefoot. Now Team Tuma has that side of the ice again to try and get shot out of the send and stay in the game. Last rock, 5th end, US Open Championships, Team Tuma, Team Violet. Needs to get half into the forefoot. Sweepers have been on this since he let it go. Whole team out there, and it comes up a little bit short. It's going to be another steal. And those are handshakes.
They sure are.
Team Violet with a steal again. Steal, steal, steal. Steals one in the 7th. He'll go away with a win here, 7-1 over Team Tuma. Bob, you know, Tuma early on they looked like they were going to be pretty sharp, and then the wheels kind of fell off with draw weight. You know, nothing horrible. They just didn't put a lot of pressure on Team Violet here.
Yeah, it really felt like a lot of steam came out of the game after that last end.
Yeah, it can be hard to battle back, you know, when you get down by a bunch. But you know, it's a new lineup, like I said, for Team Tuma, and I think they'll take some learnings away from this game, and you know, they'll re-rack for the next one. So I think that's all for us for tonight. There's more draws coming up. You can find those on Curling Zone or the Four Seasons Curling Club website under the live curling link. And Bob, you want to wrap us up and take us out?
Absolutely. Thanks to everybody again behind the scenes of Curling Stadium, all your hard work in making this possible. And stay with us this weekend as we continue US Open Championship round. Tomorrow we will be on the air at noon for the final game. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Thanks for watching.